Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today's video is based on the guidance on my favorite section, which is the listening test. Now the video has been divided into two parts. The first part talks about the general 4 tricks that will help you improve the overall listening test score and are fundamental in nature. These are, firstly, listening to audios or podcast every day without fail. Secondly, going through the questions in a glance while the audio begins in the listening test. Thirdly, try practicing focused listening. Lastly, listening to the audio once again after attempting the listening section completely. And the second section talks about 5 different tricks pertaining to 5 different kinds of questions we face in listening test. So for each question, you have a particular trick which you can master. So let's get started with the main video. Starting with the first general trick, we have regular listening of audios and podcast. Regular listening here means at least 1 hour you have to devote to listening of audios, podcasts, or even YouTube videos. Remember that it has to be in a British accent and not spoken by any Indian. Because Indian accent, we are familiar to it, but the audios are recorded in British accent, which is US or UK accent. So now, if you find difficulty in listening or understanding these audios, you have to start watching Netflix movies in English or that too YouTube videos with subtitles. Remember, whatever you watch, you have to watch it with subtitles. So while you listen to it, you have to start reading the subtitles simultaneously. This will help you build clarity in what is being said in the audio. So give it at least 10 days, 15 days or 1 month, but you have to reach at least 60% of the understanding and concentration while listening to the audios. Once you are done, then we will move further. Now these tricks are to fill the rest of the 40% of your practice. Now when you start with the Cambridge English sectional tests, say for example, you are trying to attempt the first 10 questions of the first section of the listening test. This kind of audio will play.
This is the IELTS listening test. You will hear
This is actually an instruction-based audio. So once it is being played, you have to use the time. This is the trick, guys. You have to quickly read the first 5 or first 10 questions that are being asked in the audio. So quickly go through it. That's called quick reading. Now, if you're giving a paper-based test, use a pen or a pencil and highlight the keywords. So once the audio talks about those keywords, you will be able to know that yes, this is the question and here the answer is in the audio. So it will match. Again, if you're giving a computer-based test, use the highlighter on the desktop. Mark those keywords, and once the audio talks about those keywords, you'll be in a state to better answer the question than before. Now, this is the essential trait of listening skill that is called focused listening. You have to be very focused, which means you are not allowed to be distracted or think of anything else other than what is being said in the audio. If you're not able to focus it in your practice test, start practicing focused listening. Gradually, as you keep listening every day, you will develop that kind of focus because your interest and your understanding will be improving day by day. This is the last general trick and very effective. What you're supposed to do is attempt the complete section or say attempt the first section of the listening test. Once you are done with that, now play the audio and now match your answers. You will be able to figure out what all are the wrong answers and which one are the correct ones. Now again play that audio and now understand what you heard before and what you are hearing now. What is actually the difference? Where did you make the mistake? So by hearing the audio 2-3 times, you will be able to understand that where you went wrong. So next time when you play another audio, you will be more conscious about it. This is a technique that you have to do once you have attempted the complete section. It's like tallying with your answer and analyzing your mistake. So listening test is incomplete unless and until you start analyzing your wrong answers. Now let's proceed to the question-based tricks. That is the part 2 of this video. This is the first kind of question that you get once you start the listening test. And the difficulty increases as you go from section to another section till the 4th section. So now the trick here is that once the audio that is based on the instructions is being played, Use that time and read the questions as quickly as possible. Now, there's a very interesting trick in the MCQ based questions. In every MCQ question, there will be 3 or 5 options. Now the answer lies between the first option or the last option. But that is true in maximum cases. I repeat, this is not the hard and fast rule and every time a possibility, but in maximum cases, it is either the first or the last answer. So now if the speaker rejects the first answer, focus more on the last answer. Another challenge the speaker will put in this audio is that it will talk about every option, but in a very low or in a very subtle tone, it will reject that option and only one answer will be accepted. So you will be excited to hear that keyword of say option 3 in the voice note, but it will then reject that option. So be careful whether the speaker is actually holding on to that option or rejecting it for that particular question. That is the trick. After talking about MCQs and fill-ups, these two types of questions hold a lot of weightage in the listening sections. So you will see that maximum questions belong to these question types. We'll now move on to a flowchart kind of question type. This kind of question, there will be a small table on top of the question bank. While the audio is being spoken about the basic instructions of that section, you have to quickly read that options in that table. Now the trick here is little bit of your thinking skill. You have to, after reading that table, you have to quickly read the questions below. You can read just 3 or 4 maybe because they are very small sentences. So now you have to make meanings. The answer, wherever you feel the answer is wrong or you may have noted it wrong, try to form meanings. If it is matching, then it must be the right answer, or if you have any confusion, then try to fit the best possible answer in that question. So again, attentive hearing as well as little bit thinking, and that will be sufficient. Map based questions. Here the trick is you have to be very careful, not just about English language, but about direction skills. It is all about direction in this kind of question. So now what you do is just quickly go through the map, locate the alphabets and the places that are already marked in the map while the basic instruction based audio is being played. Once the audio begins, keep focusing on the map and not the options. The options will be taken in a chronological order. The places will be pointed out in a chronological order. So now you have to locate those places in the map. Keep listening, simultaneously keep analyzing the directions. It will tell you that on the left side of this and this place, this option is there. So now you have to be careful about the direction. Which is left, which is right, south, north, east, west, you must be knowing about it. For these kind of questions, I suggest that you practice them separately also if you are weak in directions. And I think after a little bit of practice, you will be able to make it up. Now this is another interesting kind of question. The trick here is attentive listening, and that's it. You must be knowing what you have to accept and what you have to reject. So again, in that instruction based audio, quickly read the box. The questions will be taken in a chronological order, so you need not worry about those questions. You have to worry about actually the options in the box. They're quite big sentences, not just one keyword. So here, underline. If you're giving a paper-based test or computer-based test, you can underline in both the tests. So start underlining the keywords. Once the audio starts, you have to start picking those keywords. And here again, the speaker will challenge you by talking about different options, but rejecting a few and accepting only one. So if you have 10 options, maybe for the first question, it will talk about 2 options, but it will accept one option and will reject another one. So don't be excited if you hear 2 keywords in one question. It will actually be playing with you. If you practice these tricks that are relevant to different kinds of questions and overall strategies, that will be sufficient. I have scored an 8.5 in my listening section, and definitely these tricks were helpful for me. I practiced it over a month. The time period could differ for you. It could be 10 days, 1 week, or maybe 2 months. But till the time you have 100% confidence in your listening and understanding skills, only then try and give the IELTS test. Till then, Keep practicing. Good luck for your preparation and stay tuned to my videos.